But the first one we're going to start off with is the Tyrrell 25, and that is with the X-Wings. So, Jonty, do you want to get us started off on this one? Well, absolutely. Even a team as high up as Ferrari saw it as an advantage. And it was, well, its main benefit, wasn't it, for these kind of high downforce tracks. And it was just like a Monaco and just planting as much downforce in the car. And it wasn't something out of Star Wars, but it was just funny with having that kind of X-Wing shape. And all the teams kind of came up with their own kind of quirky little innovations of these X-Wings as well. Didn't it? A bit like kind of front wings, how they've developed in recent times.
Yeah, I mean, you had some where it was a very thin arm holding up the wing with an extra little buttress on it. Others, I think it was Ferrari, the arm that held up their wing was really, really big and chunky. It was almost like its own side shark fin. And very, very ugly. God. So I'm just remembering how ugly all of those cars were. Literally all of them. Was it around the same time Arrows even stuck one on the nose as well?
I think they did actually. Yeah,
They had two pylons up from the side pods and an extra wing sticking up from above the suspension. Like, what are you doing? It's Formula One car, not a car, no.
I mean, I believe the most famous out of them who kind of turned it down was Adrian Newey and the McLarens, because I think Adrian Newey is a bit of a purist and not. Although he is a bit of a designer and wants things to look nice, like an F1 car, and obviously that's where the kind of innovations of 2021, well now 2022, are coming in terms of they want. I believe Ross Brawn said he wanted an F1 car to look sexy again, and with the introduction of the X-Wing, it certainly wasn't. And I think it's probably one on this list that we are actually quite glad that got banned.
Absolutely.
And it was banned. You mentioned it at the start because of the safety aspect of it. I believe it was that interview with Eddie Jordan. He was saying, it's a shame because we were one of the teams who were benefiting from it. But if it's element of between something being safe or not, then you have to lean on the side of being safe. And it was, I believe, it was the sight. It was affecting the driver's sight because obviously, like you said, you had these kind of massive pylons on some cars, just obscuring the driver's vision. It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they can see very little from the mirrors as it is. The last thing they need is extra bits of bodywork sticking up out of the side pods, getting in the way of it.
And in fairness, it would just be a distraction to your peripheral vision as well, I imagine. So is you might be trying to focus on something, but yeah, you've kind of got this vision of this kind of tall stand in the corner of your eye. It'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially when they wobbled. Some of them wobbled about quite a bit. The Ferrari one didn't because it was such a chunky mount for it, but the others tended to flap around quite a lot. And we saw how much things can flap around from the T-wings. They used to wobble so much. I'm still amazed that only a couple ever came off. But these X-wings were even bigger, chunkier pieces with an actual wing at the top. Tiny one, but it was still a wing. Not good for tyres.
No, they certainly won't. And I think that's probably a good point to round off first. I'll give it bonus points for the name because
absolutely.
It had a great name, but that was about probably where the great stopped with the X-Wings. And I believe it was in 1998 with those outlines. And if you haven't seen those, obviously Google them on... you can go and Google them on Google Images, but also I'm pretty sure F1 TV is free at the moment. So go back and watch some of the old races. And I think Monaco 97 was the first race that Tyrrell introduced it. Go and have a look at some of those because they are bizarre to kind of see. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of the podcast. If you would like to watch the full podcast, I will leave a link to it in the description down below. And don't forget, if you do enjoy what we do on this channel, you can subscribe to it, click that bell notification, and you can keep up to date with all our latest content, just like this one. But for now, you F1 fans, keep racing.